How to create a sniper scope. There are two ways you can do it. The first way is a bit more realistic, but it comes with certain limitations. The second way is a bit more flexible. The difference between them is that when using the second way, I'm aiming using a widget. In the first one, the widget is in the scope. In this video, I will cover the first method. This is what games like Escape from Tarkov are doing. You want to have a way to aim down sights like this. This isn't a shooter tutorial, and my setup isn't the best here. I'll dive deeper into it in my first-person shooter series. Start off by creating a render target. Increase the resolution. Create a new material and set it up like this. You can technically pull off a scope without using a widget, but you'll be more limited. I'll demonstrate this soon. Add a scene capture component. You can choose to parent it to the head, but you may have rotation issues later on. So in theory, you could just add a cylinder and set it to be the render material. The problem, however, is that you won't be able to add anything else, like a scope overlay. In the widget, we can use a border to make it round. Make sure to center it. The scale you use is entirely up to you. If the scope isn't visible, you will have to rotate it like this. You'll see that the scope is sort of tilted. This is what I meant earlier. I don't know what's going on with the component. That's never happened before. It's hard to place it like this. I like to use these values instead. You may need to make the scope details bigger. I'll change this to my other one. It's a good idea to reduce the aim sensitivity when the camera is zoomed in. You can also increase the field of view for the main camera, like some games do. The ideal thing to use here would be a timeline, but in my opinion, it's not very smooth. Let me show you. It doesn't really align with our zoom-in time. You can try to adjust the timeline time. But there's a better way. Let's deal with button spamming first. So this works to some extent, but we can improve it using a gate loop instead. This is a macro that I've made in another video. You can watch that video and make it yourself. Or you can do it like this. That's much better. Now it's time to add the zoom in functionality. You can zoom in as many times as you want, but I will choose 2 toggles. We'll need a Boolean to know whether we're aiming down. We'll also need an integer to keep track of our zooms. Then we can reduce our aim sensitivity and widen the field of view. Now let's add the shooting. You can either use a bullet or a line trace. I will use a bullet. I will print this for testing purposes. I'll also just cast to my enemy, but ideally you would check another way. I have a video on that as well. You can choose to have gravity if you want the bullet to be more realistic. We can use the render target's location and rotation. You'll notice sometimes that the bullet overlap doesn't register. This is even more apparent if I increase the bullet velocity. To fix this, simply set the collision to be the root. You can also play a shoot montage. This is the shoot animation that we get in the third-person template. You can use the blend time, end time, and play rate to customize how the shooting should look. Another optional bonus is to add recoil. This can be done by adjusting the control rotation. Here we'll use a timeline. Lastly, we'll have to deal with the scope when it's not in use. Different games do different things. I'll just make it black. I'll add a border and make it fade in or out. You only need the animation for one transition. Then just make an event for both, and call it when aiming. You can also add a delay before playing the animations.